Hello, and welcome back to Kaizen with Luca. All right, so today we are going to be talking about the examined life. The examined life is actually from our good friend Socrates, and this is really all about not just looking at not just living life as it kind of happens to you. It's all about examining the things in your life and learning what those takeaways are and what we can actually gain from those things. So, this is going to be to kind of give you a little bit more of a structured explanation of that. We will kind of sum it up like this: the idea that a life without honest self examination is not really a life you are living, it is a life that is happening to you. So, it's just you're not really examining things because they're things that are worth living to you. You're just examining them, or you're just living the life as it happens to you. So that's really what we're deriving from Socrates here. And I'll share a couple things. This is more. I wanted to share something maybe in the moment, but obviously I can't really do that because everything is going to be retrospective as we look back on things. But really, like, as I've gone through my own Kaizen journey, because I am doing these things in real time. I'm not doing something that I'm preaching but not practicing. So everything that I will show you down the line are all things that I've done myself. And this is all kind of what Socrates is talking about, what we discuss, in that we are examining the past, our life, to gain some type of knowledge from it, right? As I've looked back on my time in high school, as I've looked back on certain jobs that I've picked up, there are so many different things that point to so many, like, what do I even want to say? Like, skills or just common themes throughout my journey. And one of those things was um, educating. Like, I do these things at work where I actually need some blocks. I do these things at work where I am teaching people how to understand AI, use AI, and those are things that are a common idea that show up every so often in what I do. And it's a really fascinating idea because I never really thought of myself as an educator, but as I have gone through this my own Kaizen sprint, it's like revealed this idea of this way of educating and how I'm able to get these ideas in my head out in simplified terms. Like, I think one of the things that I've always talked about in my interview process is one of my common go-tos is that I'm able to take really hard to understand complex ideas and break them down into a way. This guy's gonna be floating here forever. Into a way that is easy for anybody to understand and pick up. And I pride myself on that ability to do that. And the way that I want to bring these ideas into Kaizen and how I want to get people to fully grasp and understand the things that I'm trying to talk about all stem from just trying to have fun. And I grew up where, everybody was making a PowerPoint. And I don't think I could imagine growing up in a time where people were using blackboards like for education. That would have been insanely boring. I don't think I could have ever done that. But even then, PowerPoints could just be as bad as um, a blackboard. I'm gonna go to sleep before these mobs spawn in here. But in order for us to just understand, you have to kind of take some time to really think about what that moment was like. In high school, I would have never thought that creating videos in place of presentations would have led me to being a better presenter over time. Um, just because I didn't want to stand in front of a class and present, I thought that the better thing was to go ahead and create a video and talk about those topics in the form of videos. And now look at me. Man, how many years later are we? almost like almost 10 years later from my high school graduation. And I'm sitting here making a video playing Minecraft talking about how you can improve yourself and all these ideas of how we can go and do those things. So just a very, interesting timeline of how we can look at the examine life and see the commonalities between everything. So that's one thing. And I'll give you the what it actually means. So what this actually means is most people go through enormously significant experiences and you extract almost nothing from those experiences. You could go through something monumental in your life and maybe you'll be like, oh wow, that was an insanely huge thing that happened. And you go to bed and you maybe think about it for a couple days and that's really it. What deeper thinking are you doing to really extract something from that? And most people just, don't think a little bit deeper. They don't think harder because they never stop to ask themselves what the experience meant, what it revealed, what it changed. And let me get the sheep into our pen here. Everybody stay in. Stay in. All right, now we got ourselves a nice little farm going. And we'll worry about splitting up, all the animals into their own little spaces. But for now, this works. So the examined life is not about introspective to the point of paralysis. We don't want you to think about this too much all the way up to the point where you're just kind of like freaking out because you have no idea what's gonna happen. So this is all about being intentional enough to learn from what you live through instead of just surviving it. So you could practice this, and I'll give you homework. But you could practice this every day. You can, and honestly, the Kaizen challenge that I went through, it was just this, where you wrote down what you're thankful for that day, and we'll do the exact same things of practicing this, what you accomplished today, what you're thankful for, something big that happened today. We'll do all those types of things, but for the most part, this examined life is just looking a little bit deeper. You didn't just survive the day. What's the big win? What's the big takeaway for you? For me, it's tying up loose ends, helping people out with whatever they need help with, telling stories that actually mean something, and you can really sit down at the end of the day and be like, wow, I'm really thankful for my dog, for just being so cute and cuddling with me and making me feel good. Like, I'm so thankful for her today. Just little things that give you that extra boost to your day. So examined life, super important. I know there's some people out there that should do some examining themselves and really just think about the impact that um, certain decisions and stuff have on your life. And think about those times that you took risks. What paid off when you did those things? Like what was the payoff when you didn't take the risk? What happened? um Things like that in nature. So your homework today, if anybody does their homework, I would be curious to know. But the homework today is for me to figure out how to get down this hill. But think about the most significant thing that happened to you in the last year. Did you examine it or did you just move past it? What did it reveal about you that you have not fully acknowledged yet? Sit with that today. And, just do that in your own time. Maybe you do it after this episode. You think about it a little bit. But there are things that we have to ask ourselves. And sometimes we don't want to ask ourselves those questions. We don't really want to have those deep conversations because it's hard. I mean, who really wants to go and do that? Not many people do. But when you actually sit there and take the time to understand what went wrong or what is it? Oh my goodness, it was a tick. All right. Well, as I sort out this tick that was just crawling on me from I don't know where, I will look for some more. But we will revisit this. Examine your life. Take a look at the things that have impacted you, and really examine those things, and figure out from there what you want to do. I'm going to mitigate this tick here, but I'll leave you all with that today. This is the greatest part about being unedited. So we'll go from there, but hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you all tomorrow.